statement, and I now give the floor to the permanent representative of Greece.
No.
Thank you very much.
By thanking our briefers, Assistant Secretary General Chiari and Under Secretary General Lacroix, for the valuable information they have provided. Today I would like to highlight the following 3 points. First, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Syria must be respected by all. Syrian sovereignty has been systematically violated. We reiterated our call for the full implementation of the 1974 disengagement agreements and emphasized the responsibility of all parties to uphold international obligations. While we recognize the right of Israel to defend itself and ensure the security of its citizens, we stress the need for this to be done in accordance with international law with the utmost care to avoid civilian casualties. We express our condolences for those deceased and pray for the speedy recovery of those injured. We similarly draw attention to violations of Syrian sovereignty in the north, coupled with ongoing violations and kinetic activities, further exacerbating Syria's stability. We deplore attacks in Syria north and northeast, among others on the Tishrim Dam, which is key for local water security. Greece continues to stand firmly in support of Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity, stressing that a united, secure and peaceful Syria is the best way to ensure the well-being of its people and regional stability for Syria and its neighbors. Second, a truly inclusive political transition combined with transitional justice is the key to viable peace in the country. Following the fall of the previous regime in Syria, Greece remains steadfast in its solidarity with the Syrian people as we work toward the recovery of the country. This recovery can only be achieved through a truly inclusive political transition, one that is guided by the principle of Security Council Resolution 2254, supporting the formation of credible and resilient state institutions which respect international law and the international law of the sea, the protection of the full integration of all Syrian communities, including Christian, Alawites, Druze and Kurds, is key for rational reconciliation and the long-term prosperity of the country. We are encouraged by the recent engagement between interim President al-Shara and Special Envoy Peterson on the importance of a transparent election process for an interim People's Assembly. The atrocities committed in the coastal regions, as condemned by this Council's presidential statement of 14th of March, underscore the urgency for full accountability and inclusive justice. This is crucial for the credibility of the interim authorities. In this regard, we eagerly expect the outcome of the independent fact-finding committee set up to identify those responsible for the mass killings and bring them to justice. We also reaffirm our support to an independent international impartial and objective mechanism, the International Impartial Mechanism, and the Commission of Inquiry, all critical UN mechanisms in terms of accountability. On the Constitutional Declaration and Political Transition, we take note of the formation of the transitional government in Damascus, and we consider the inclusion of a representative of ethnic and religious group to be crucial for its success. We likewise note, however, that these developments were not met with universal acceptance of all communities, and there might still be some question marks on how representative the makeup of this transitional government is. We are equally concerned that, among others, the increased influence of the executive power on the formation of the legislative authority may not lead to a truly inclusive and viable political process. Third and last point, we must not lose sight of the humanitarian crisis in Syria. Recognizing the severe humanitarian crisis in the country, Greece made at the recent recovery conference in Brussels a pledge in support of Syria's recovery, contributed to the EU overall commitment of some 2.5 billion euros, tangibly reflecting a commitment to help rebuild Syria. Within the EU, Greece has supported the easing of sanctions, while emphasizing that this should be done in a gradual, conditional, and reversible manner. This approach is taken in solidarity with the Syrian people as a means to ensure that expectations are met in terms of an inclusive transition, accountability, transitional justice, as well as full adherence to international law, including the international law of the sea. Mr. President, in closing, let me stress that the only viable future for Syria is one of peace, justice and inclusiveness. Greece remains committed to supporting a political transition that respects the rights of all of Syria's diverse community, advances the prosperity and security of the Syrian people, and ensures regional stability. For this purpose, we must continue to uphold Syria's unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, free from external influence and interventions. I thank you.
I thank the Permanent Representative of Greece for his statement.